Oh, welcome back to my little machine shop, cleverly disguised as a single car garage. Now, I got a secret project going, and you can't tell anybody, okay? Just keep it to yourself. This will make some people mad, and let me explain. Now, it's back to these Wohlhaupter heads. Now, Wohlhaupter, in more recent literature, says that all Wohlhaupter heads have an interchangeable shank, but that wasn't always the case. And this is a UPA5, but it's a special head made for SIP or SIP jig borers, and it had an integral SIP shank in it that does not remove like current heads. And so what I did is I crudely took a abrasive cutoff wheel and cut the SIP shank off and threaded it (7/8 by 20), and I can use any shank on this now. So, and before, the head was basically useless unless you had a large SIP jig borer machine. Okay, so now we're back to the rotary milling head, and I keep calling it a UK3, but it's a UK4. And but it's got the identical feed system that I discovered. I've never used a UK3 head, but it's got the identical feed system of the UPA3, excuse me, standard heads. Get these numbers mixed up, but this is a UK4. It has the same feed mechanism as a UPA3 and similar to the 1 through 3 anyway. But UPA4 and 5, like this one, and UPA6, which is almost twice the size of this thing here, use these pins feed mechanism, and it's just a bit different in the way it works. So I thought I'd point that out. But like this SIP head, the shank on the UK4 is integral, forged with the body. The shank is forged with the body. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Is I'm going to take and I'm going to cut the I'd be best off using this particularly in the Brown & Sharp milling machine, because I would gain an inch, but I want to go conservatively. I could do that later, cut it there. I'm going to cut it here. Here's the drive flange that slips on there. It's got a key, goes into that keyway. So I'm going to leave that intact. That's going to go back on. And then this will go on like, oh, yeah, no, it's backwards. This goes down. No, it goes up. I get turned around with this stuff. Okay, so that'll go like that, and it'll be, you know, like that. It'll have the drivers for the 40 taper, BT40. It's early standard 40 taper. So once this is together, nobody will ever know that I did that. And then I can use it on the jig boring machine. And I'm really looking forward to using this on the Morris Mor-Speed drill press. And I think this head here could really be an interesting addition to a radial drill, because you could precisely position this on like a casting repair. And that's what I use these for over the last, I've had this over 30 years, and I've used it quite a bit for repair of castings. I'll get into that, some of that a little bit later. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to make it so this head, which is working much better than the last video, I just keep using it, and it's working better, lubricating it and using it. So this is going to have interchangeable shanks, but I'm not going to damage or compromise very much the original patina. Okay, so I'm going to start doing this, and I'll talk about the setup I have here just a little bit. Okay, I got my best stuff going here to do this. This Axelson is actually an amazing machine. I just can't believe it. It keeps surprising me all the time. I got the most accurate chuck here. I've got a ground piece of drill rod into the tool holding end of this, having, let me see if I can rotate a little bit, here we go, centered it, you know, with the head, centered the pin, put the thing on there, then adjusted this, and the head's so accurate, it's just dead on. Locked all this stuff up. So I'm going to take and I got the steady res set up. This is going to get removed. It'll be cut off right here. Then I'll use carbide tooling. It's hard on the outside, but it's softer in the middle. And I will take and thread this like I threaded this here. And so then I can use and anybody after me could do that too, use this on any machine. Just isolating it to the Brown & Sharp milling machine vertical head really will reduce the effectiveness of this. I think this thing has some interesting uses, and I think it will really work quite well on that Morris Mor-Speed radial drill, which I'm learning quite a bit about on those. Okay, I'll be back here. Well, I try not to get nervous when I'm going to take an air tool to a machine tool attachment that would probably exceed $15,000 in cost in today's money, but that's what I'm going to do. I wrapped the head up in tin foil, and I got things covered up pretty good, and I don't worry too much about this because I keep this lathe so clean anyway. So I think I've got everything ready to go. Let me get her in the correct gear. I'm going to anchor this down, and I think you'll be okay. Something about like that, I think. Oh, wait a minute. Got to get ear protection. And you got to be on the other side of the start lever. I'm going to call that good. Okay. Get everything clear, microphone cable. Okay, that's it. I don't know, that's almost too fast. I'm going to slow that down considerably. I'll put it in low range. Okay, it's in low range. That might be a little... Let's see, that might be okay. We'll try that 130 RPM. Okay, I'm going to get this groove going and get through the hard facing, the outer hardness of the shank. And then I'll cut it part way through using this air tool. Looks like we're still running. I better look. We're all going. I'm all plugged in. I think I'm going the wrong way, but I'm going to give it a try. That tape is my line. Looking pretty good. A little bit hard on the outer skin, about 100,000. Then it starts dropping off. In my experience, anyway. I think I'm going to reverse it. And that means I got to move the camera here. See, I got a groove going there. Let me get this reversed. Okay, I think it'll grind better that way. Yeah, you can see okay, I think. Whoop. Gotta balance this just right. Okay. Now I'm staying out of the way of this unguarded wheel. You can better believe that. Okay, here we go. That seems to ride definitely more aggressively with the rotations opposite each other. Let's see if they catch on fire yet. This is something I just going to take my time with. I could probably dress this wheel a little bit. Still haven't gotten through that hardness yet. Okay, I gotta let my little wimpy air compressor catch up, and we'll be back soon. So, here we go. I got the shank cut off here. And we're going to install this shank. It had this collar, so that's going back on. And all I got to do is just keep cutting it back a little bit. And it's pretty tough stuff. And so we'll work it back a little bit. And you can watch that German metal cut. Let's see if we get it going here. Get some oil on that thing. Okay. Okay, only running 350 RPM there. Get some of this lube on there. Now the cutter is micro 100. Whoop! Let's see if we can get you in a better spot. You can kind of see that stuff cut. Let me get that light. A little better place there. A touch off here. I don't know which way we're feeding outwards. Okay, I can only move it in about 10 thousandths at a time. This is some pretty tough stuff. There we go, cutting it about 10,000 step there. I got a center drill hole in there. So it's pretty soft in the core. And it gets harder as we get to the outside here. Very outside's quite hard. Okay, we'll go back in. It's kind of good to come from inside out because of that being extra hard. We're going to go 10 thousandths. Really good to have lube on this. Okay, it's this one. Give those bearings a little shot there. The feed is about 3 thousandths, just under. Just about got that cleaned up from the grind. Alright, so give it that hard outer layer there. Now you can kind of look at the using the brush here. You see this outer part here, you can see where the hardness stops. And then it's kind of got a gooey, soft core. So we'll go back in don't know, take another 10. It's really a nice steady rest. It's a modified Pratt & Whitney. It's the first project that I did for this lathe when I came on YouTube about 4 years ago. And I tell you what, you get a lathe without a steady rest, that's a real problem. So I found this Pratt & Whitney steady rest at HGR Surplus. Okay, that's good. We're getting back in there. Sure to give that a good shot of oil. Got lube on there. I'll feed it in another 10 thousandths. Yeah, looking good, huh? Yeah, this micro 100 braids carbide, it's really good on these old machines, you know, at slower speeds or at work you're not running real fast. It's a very soft, hard-working carbide. It will wear rather than chip. Ooh, that's why I'm using it. You can hear it hitting that hard stuff there. I'm going to take and bevel this. Kind of back on that tool a little bit, and it won't bang so hard when it comes back. You see that micro 100 cut that hard outer pretty well in its own right. Okay, 10 more here. Might even try 15, but that might be pushing it. I kind of like this. Actually, it's some pretty tough stuff. I don't know if you can hear it clicking. There's still kind of a rough spot from using the cutoff wheels and everything I did to get this off. Just about there. Well, okay, I'll be back. Okay, ready to cut some threads here. Well, I've worked on some valuable and rare items, and it's always good to be done if you're doing surgery on them like this. So I got a Moore shank here, some Moore Jig Borer shank, and it's made by Criterion. So it's a good gauge to use for these threads that I just did. And these threads are just perfect, no shake at all, hardly. And just a nice snug fit. So then go with the jig bore. Pull that out. Go back to 40 taper. Morris taper 4. You can even put a R8 on here. I think you'd probably operate this okay with a Bridgeport. Back to 40 taper. And this collar goes on there, see? Like that. Okay, I'm going to get the collar back on this and out of the machine and maybe stick it in the jig bore. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, well, here it is. The UK4 head 40 taper, which is what it came with, except for it didn't screw off. And we can go to Moore Jig Borer. Really like the fit I got on this. Not loose and not tight. Just fantastic. So that'll go on the jig borer. Let's set this down here and see if I can make it that far with the microphone cable. Oh, maybe set you right here. What can you see? See if you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, see if I can pull the camera on over, huh? Okay, now it definitely will fit in the Moore Jig Borer. There, it's screwing on the rest of the way. And always just put these in just slightly tight. Okay, get it out of gear. And how about that? And I got a lot more headroom. I got another 4 inches, and then I can pull the rotary table off this thing too. So there's the UK4 on a jig borer, which is the proper machine for it. Hey, thanks for watching. Now remember, don't tell anybody what I did here, okay? Just keep it to yourself. Catch you later.